We are about to kick off another mega session of freezer meals. We're going to be starting that tomorrow, but I thought today I would walk you through a little bit of the behind the scenes and show you some of the prep and just tell you what we've been up to today to get ready for 2 days of assembling over 100 freezer meals for our families. I'm doing this with my neighbor Christy. If you've watched our channel before, then you will be familiar with Christy, and she is doing the Costco run right now. Actually, she has left Costco and she is on her way to Superstore because, shock of all shocks, Costco did not have boneless, skinless chicken thighs today. So we are pivoting and changing the plan a little bit for that. Early this morning, I took one of my daughters with me and we went to our local grocery store. The first Tuesday of the month, they have 15% off groceries. So we always plan our mega session around that, because if you can save 15% off of your groceries, in addition to the savings that you get from doing freezer cooking anyway, it's just an amazing deal. So over the last few weeks, I made my plan of what meals I'm going to be making. I went into the Freezer Meals 101 Club and chose the tried and true freezer meals that we wanted to make. And in addition to that, a whole bunch of brand new to us recipes that I sort of looked for inspiration from restaurants or other websites, and then tweaked and changed and freezer mealized and all the things. And so I'm really excited about those. And then I took those recipes, I created, well, first I'll show you my rough draft of the list, and then my final draft of the list, because it went through some iterations as I went along. And if you hear something in the background, that is my daughter. She is helping me with prep today. I am so incredibly grateful. She's in culinary school and she is so much faster than I am at all prep, but especially when it comes to chopping vegetables. So right now you can hear her slicing peppers. She has already done diced peppers, large chunked peppers. I think we had like 18 red peppers and then 4 yellow, I think. And we're using orange as sometimes red and sometimes yellow, just based on that it was cheaper to buy them in packs that also included the orange. So anyway, just using creative license there. But yes, she's doing peppers right now. I have got my ground Italian sausage going in the slow cooker behind me, and once in a while I just give that a stir. We're gonna get some chicken cooking in the oven. Most of our chicken is added to our freezer meals raw and cooked on the day of, but we have 2 recipes this time that we are using the cooked cube chicken for specific reasons, so that needs to get done today. So much prep going on. At Christy's house, she is going to be doing the onions. She's also going to be browning the ground beef. We are not doing a lot of ground beef this time because we've got some other beef recipes and not using ground beef that we're going to be doing. And also we're doing smash burgers. So some of the ground beef needs to stay raw for us to do those. What else do we have going on for prep? All kinds of vegetables. So many vegetables. Anyone that believes the myth that freezer meals are not healthy has not seen what our prep looks like this time, because our prep list is pretty large, and actually I've continued to kind of add to it today, because I was like, oh yeah, we need to do the cilantro, and I forgot about we need to mince the jalapenos, and so I've been adding to that. So I also yesterday made up a prep list, and I made up the grocery list. Now the grocery list looks a mess. I had to take all of those recipes, both the tried and true ones and the ones that I'm experimenting with this time, and I had to make a rough draft grocery list where I did tally marks for how much ground beef I needed, how many recipes are using chicken thighs versus chicken breasts, how much of the chicken breast needs to be cubed or sliced or put in whole or whatever. So I did all these markings on this sheet, how many onions, all of that, used tally marks. And again, onions minced versus sliced versus diced versus large chunks, whether they're purple or regular onions. I did it all. And if you don't want to have to do that, because freezer meal math is no fun. This is fresh in my mind because it's been like, it was so busy and so much work to get it done. But if you don't want to have to do that, we have a system called the Freezer Meals 101 Club. The link is in the description below. It does all the math for you. You choose your recipes. They're all of our tried and true recipes. So we recommend that you double them once you know that you love them. And you can go ahead and change the serving size really easily in there. And then you can print off your shopping list, your prep list, and printable labels with the cooking instructions and the date on them. So that would have been really handy for me to be able to use. And that's exactly why I created it for you, so that you wouldn't have to do the mess of my grocery list and my prep list and all of that. But I can't use it because I'm using so many recipes that are brand new and that have not been input into the club yet. So I still have to do my own tallying. And then Christy went and printed off our labels for me for what we're doing for this mega session, and printed off the recipes. We kind of sectioned them into different proteins because it's much faster to work one protein at a time. So those are all done. And the reason that we recommend that you do your prep the day before is because, well, a few things. One, it breaks things up. It allows you to come home with those groceries, you know, do your grocery shop in the morning, come home with the groceries, get everything prepped and put away in the fridge. You're less tired if you do your grocery shopping and prep one day and your assembly the next. But also it allows for anything like that cooked ground sausage or the cooked ground beef to be able to cool in your fridge overnight, so that when it goes into the freezer meals, it's not warm or hot, because if it is, it creates condensation and texture issues. So another thing that we are prepping today is we're cooking some rice that's going to be included in some of the meals. We're trying a new side dish that I think sounds so tasty. You'll have to watch the video of us assembling the meals to see what that is. But for that, we are going to be cooking for that and many other dishes, including a few other experiments. We're going to do a vegetarian stuffed peppers this time because we have such a good Tex-Mex stuffed peppers recipe, but it uses ground beef. So this time we're going to try a vegetarian version, and I have high hopes for that one too. So that one needs rice as well. So we're going to get that cooked up today, and then we can have it in the fridge cooling so that when it goes in the recipes, it is ready to go. So that is the importance of doing prep ahead. Just kind of breaks things up and also ensures that all of your ingredients are cooled. The other thing is that doing your prep ahead does give you another chance to just make sure that you have everything that you need. And part of that is we recommend that you set out your ingredients. When I was after I grocery shopped this morning, which it was a 2.5 cart day between what I got for these freezer meals, because we're making over 100, and like snacks for our little guy for daycare, and just, you know, the odds and sods that you need. Although with freezer meals, we don't need that many extras, but just, you know, what did we get extra? Oh, I got myself a wild cherry Pepsi, just one of the little ones, and it's in the freezer right now because I like when it kind of turns into a Slurpee. But that was just like an extra treat for me. That's really off topic, sorry. But anyway, like grapes, apples, bananas, those kind of things, right? Don't try to freeze those. Actually, grapes freeze really, really well. So forget what I said about don't try to freeze those. If you want a really nice, easy snack, you just wash your grapes, put them out on a baking sheet, get them in your freezer. The only thing about that, the caveat that I'm going to give you, is that you want to make sure that you eat them right out of the freezer. You don't want to take them in a school lunch or anything with you, because once they thaw, they are not the same consistency as they were before, and they're a little mushy. But if you eat them right out of the freezer, they are a favorite snack around here. And you can get kids to eat the frozen grapes much easier than if they're not fans of grapes regularly. Also, you do want to be careful for little guys because they can be a choking hazard, obviously, with the frozen grapes. So you want to make sure your kids are old enough to safely be able to eat them, but that's a great thing. Do not freeze your apples, however, unless they're in, see, I'm proving myself wrong. Unless they're in things, because we do use apples in like our steel cut oats or apple French toast, things like that. And we have a really good apple crisp that freezes well. So, my goodness, why don't you go and pick up our What Freezes Well cheat sheet? I'll put the link in the description below, and that will make more sense than I'm making today. The reason I also got myself that wild cherry Pepsi is because I was up several times in the night between cats and our 3-year-old, and I'm a little bit needing some extra caffeine today. So if I seem not quite my usual self, it's just because I'm tired. Anyway, story of my life. What else do we have going? Getting groceries today. It has been raining here for, today is the 3rd day. So we were doing that in the rain, which added another layer of fun, but no, it wasn't bad at all. I did fill my entire trunk and a little bit into my back seat because we had so many bags of groceries. For the chicken that we're cubing raw and slicing, we got fresh chicken breasts, but there was a sale on frozen, so we got that for the chicken that we're cooking up today and cubing. What else can I tell you? Oh, I do take that rough draft of a shopping list and I make it into the local grocery store list for myself, and then I give Christy the list for Costco. I also give her if there's anything that needs to be like from Bulk Barn, so spice blends or those kinds of things, which we didn't really have as much of this time, but she does that. And then also if there's like a liquor store thing, and this time we needed 2 items from the liquor store. Sometimes like our chicken taco soup has cans of beer in it. We're not doing that this time, but we are doing 2 Asian recipes that one of them needs a kind of wine that I have never heard of, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. It's like Shaoxing maybe. So we are going to continue. We're gonna do our prep. Let me introduce you. This is our compost bowl. It's really handy actually to have either a garbage bowl or a compost bowl just on your counter. Right now, as you can see from the top peelings, my daughter is right beside me peeling and slicing our sweet potato for tomorrow. Having that compost bowl just means that you're not running back and forth to the garbage, and you're just able to have everything that you need right there on the counter. We find and have found over the years that these teeny tiny little things actually add up and make a huge difference. So things like working on one protein at a time, doing your prep ahead, having your compost bowl out so that you're not running back and forth, setting out your ingredients so that, first of all, if I had come home from grocery shopping today and I had put the groceries that I bought for this mega session away in my pantry, and then tomorrow I had to be going and finding all of that in my pantry again, like that would be a waste of time. But also, this ensures that I can double check and make sure that I have everything I need, so I don't discover like partway through yesterday that I forgot to add something to my grocery list, because I can just walk around with the recipes. In the past, I have sometimes grouped the ingredients and I have grouped them by recipe, so that I've even sometimes made stations around the kitchen so that everything that we needed for that particular recipe was right there and ready to go. This time I haven't done that, but what I did do is when I did my list of the recipes, my good copy of the list of the recipes, I actually wrote them in the order that I want us to do them. And yes, by protein for sure, because if we're going to be doing things with raw chicken, we don't want to cross-contaminate, and we want to get all the raw chicken meals done at the same time. But I also made it so that, like, there's 2 chickens right off the bat that have gochujang paste in it. It's a Korean, somewhat spicy. It's a pepper paste. And so those ones are going to be done one after the other, because if you have those ingredients out, you're going to save time by making multiple recipes with similar or the same ingredients in them, or some crossover anyway. So I have the list. We'll see tomorrow when things get chaotic if we stick to it, but I think for the most part we will, and this will help just keep us kind of on track and also just make things go a little bit faster. So anything that you can do up ahead really saves time for the day of. Another teeny tiny little thing that maybe doesn't so much save you time, but it does just give you more energy and help you, is to plan the meals that you're for when you're making the meals. It seems funny to say it, but we kind of joke about it's like when you're in the ocean and you're surrounded by water, but there's nothing to drink, right? So that can sometimes happen when we are doing our freezer meals. We're assembling 100+ meals and we don't have anything to eat for our lunch that day because everything is raw, nothing is cooked. So over the years, we have started to get better at planning things. So now we have a snack station. So I've already started to add things to our snack station for tomorrow, and ironically, I'm going to be pulling out a freezer meal from one of our last sessions of freezer meal making, and I'm going to thaw that in the morning and put it in the slow cooker, and that will be our lunch. And actually, it's a brand new recipe, so we'll get to try it for you on camera. And that way, we've got our lunch taken care of for tomorrow. And then for the following day, I haven't quite thought that far ahead, but I will figure something out. Just a tip for you to plan your snacks and meals ahead for the days that you're going to be assembling these meals. It is so worth doing all of this work. I know that it can feel overwhelming. Trust me, with the Freezer Meals 101 Club and someone else doing the more of the thinking part of it for you, it isn't as overwhelming as it might seem. Mine, where I'm doing all my tally marks and stuff, it's a bit of a mess, but it's a system and it does the job. Not as well as the good, proper Freezer Meals 101 Club system, but it does the job. The other thing is just make sure you drink lots of water, and for your prep day and your assembly day, make sure you are wearing good shoes. Even in your house, even if you don't normally wear shoes indoors, wear a good pair of runners or something that's really comfortable on your feet. You will thank me for that later. I hope that you will join us to watch this mega session. I'm really excited because, as always, we're going to be trying and testing a lot of new recipes. And I'm also sort of craving some of the tried and true ones that I chose to add into this session. It's going to be so nice to get my freezer stacked up, especially for this busy season that I've got ahead of me. Thank you so much for being here and taking a little peek at what we do to get ready for our freezer meal marathons. And I will see you next time.